Do you know when you get to mid-afternoon and you feel like shit? You're so tired, you're so hungry, and you just want to raid the cupboard because your body is raging for more food. You don't really want to have a meal because we don't have time to have a meal, but you also just don't want to rummage around and snack on all the shit because that's not going to make us feel good. I've actually got us the solution. I need to introduce you to my baked oats. We've got brownie baked oats, we've got blueberry cheesecake baked oats, we've got carrot cake oats, and I've got about 20 other flavours that I could show you if I wanted to. These bad boys have every single ingredient that you need to get over the afternoon slump. We've got oats, we've got fibre, we've got protein, we've got sweetness to give us that sweet treat kick that we need. There is nothing that these baked oats don't serve us with. You're never, ever, ever gonna get bored of them. So pause the video here, go to the description, get all your ingredients, and let's get making them. So, first flavour of the baked oats is my absolute favourite. It's our brownie baked oats. I mean, can we get any better than that? It's chocolate, it literally tastes like a big, thick, fudgy brownie, but it's healthy, it's high in protein, it's got all the ingredients in that you need for fat loss and to keep your hunger levels down. For all of the recipes that I'm going to be making today, the base is going to stay the exact same and we're going to add in some flavours. So it's so simple. You'll know this recipe like the back of your hand the more weeks that you make it. I don't even have to look at the recipe anymore. I just know exactly what to make. First thing we're going to start off with is our bananas. Now, look at these bananas. They have seen better days. This is the perfect state of the banana that we need. If your bananas are not in this state, then literally shove a banana in the oven for about 10 minutes. It'll go black and it'll go all soft inside. We're gonna need 100 grams of banana per one. So we're gonna get our weighing scales out. When you are losing fat, it is important if you are tracking your calories to getting all the ingredients actually correct. So need 100 grams of banana and we're simply gonna mash this bad boy up. Make sure that you are using glass Tupperwares. I'll link the ones that I use below. I just get them off on Amazon. And generally, I have switched to glass Tupperwares for everything, just because they last so much longer. I've had these for a couple of years now and they look brand new still. As you can see, banana is looking like this type of consistency. That is what we call perfect. That's like probably the hardest step of this whole recipe. And the next thing we're gonna do is just whack all of the rest of the base ingredients into the dish and stir it in. So we've got our oats. We need 80 grams of oats. Any oats is absolutely fine, whatever oats you've got in the cupboard. I like the Quakers ones because I find the smaller oats, it just gives it a little bit of a nice texture. The bigger oats kind of still feel a little bit clumpy. Obviously, we're trying to mimic a brownie here, so the smoother we have it, the better. Then we've got our protein powder. I use the vegan one from My Protein. It is the perfect consistency for this brownie texture. I always find that vegan protein works a lot better in things like cakes because it's thicker, so it gives you that like cakey consistency, whereas whey protein powder is a little bit thinner. So if you have got whey protein powder, it still does work. You just might have to put less liquids in, which I'll talk about later on in the recipe. But this one I have used for absolute years. You'll know if you follow me on Instagram, I always bang on about this one. It's perfect. We're gonna need 30 grams of our protein powder. Next thing we're gonna use is some baking powder. This is just really important to give it that rise and capabilities in the oven. Then we've got some honey. We need 10 grams of honey, just to give it that like sweetness. And then last but not least, we've got our milk. Now you can use any milk that you want. I don't eat dairy, so I've just got coconut milk. I've used almond milk before, that works really, really well. Normal milk works really well as well. If you do want to make it lower in calories, you can use like almond milk and plant-based milk, so you all are normally lower in calories, but in all honesty, it's not really going to make that much of a difference. We're going to need 200 ml of milk. Like I said before, if you're not using the same protein powder as me, I can't promise that it's going to give the same consistency, but I'll show you what the right consistency does need to look like, and then you can kind of mimic that with your own ingredients. But if you want to guarantee perfection, just use the same protein powder as me. I'll pop the link below for it. I do have a discount code with My Protein, so I'll pop that down below as well. And we're just gonna give that a slight mix in. Now, that is the base ingredients done. We now need to mix in the add-on ingredients for the brownie flavour. So we have got the cocoa powder, which is obviously gonna give us that chocolate element. And we're gonna need 15 grams of the cocoa powder. If you do have chocolate protein powder, this will work really, really well in this recipe. I'm just gonna stir that all in together. The really cool thing about this recipe as well is that there is no washing up. You make it, cook it, eat it out of the same dish. I hate cleaning up, and this is just perfect for that. Make sure that all of the powdery bits are kind of stirred in, because we don't want to have a nasty surprise, an explosion of protein powder in our brownies when we're eating them. So the consistency should be looking like this. As you can see, it's quite gloopy. That's what we're aiming for. So when you're putting your milk in, if you're not using the same protein powder as me, you can kind of see what that consistency looks like. That is what we're aiming for. Okay, the last mixing ingredient that we've got is our chocolate chips. Now I've got 30 grams of chocolate chips. I'm going to be using white chocolate and dark chocolate just because it gives it a good mix of flavours. We're going to stir half of them in and then just put half of them on top. And that's flavour number 1 done. So we've just made up the bases of the next 2 because the base stays the exact same. That's the beauty of this recipe. Same base, and you can mix in like a million different flavours. But today we're going to be doing carrot cake and blueberry cheesecake. So first of all, we're going to do the blueberry cheesecake. We've got the same base that we used for the previous recipe. I've just made it up so you don't have to watch me do all that again. That is the banana, the mashed banana, the oats, the protein powder, the bacon powder, the milk, and the honey. Simple as that. Then for the blueberry topping, we're gonna make a really exciting concoction. So you're gonna grab some frozen blueberries. If you've got normal ones, they will work fine, but I just always get frozen because they always stay fresh. They stay in your freezer for years if you want them to, and they're so much cheaper. So we're gonna grab 80 grams of blueberries, along with 10 grams of maple syrup. Give that a little stir together, and then we're just gonna pop them in the microwave for about 30 seconds until it kind of melts together and gives us like a little concoction. Wow, that looks incredible. Okay, now we've got our blueberry compote concoction. We're simply just gonna use our best artistic skills to whack them on top. Then for the cheesecake part, we're gonna cheat a little bit, but I promise you it tastes pretty much identical. We're gonna be using Greek yogurt. Now, if you want it to taste a bit more cheesy, I would suggest you getting a higher fat percentage of Greek yogurt. I just use the 5% one. It is so nice, it's so creamy. The 0% one can taste a little bit sour, so if you can afford it with your calories, I'm sure everyone can, have the 5% one. And a really good trick if you are weighing everything out, if you want to weigh anything from like the container that's already in, whether that be some sauce, whether that be some yogurt, a really cool trick is to put the thing that you want to weigh out onto the weighing scales, click that to 0, and then whatever you take out will be in the minus, and then you'll have to just track that, rather than you having to like take everything off a spoon and empty everything out and it being accurate. It just makes your life a whole lot easier. So we're gonna have 100 grams of yogurt, and we're literally just gonna dollop this all around the blueberries that we've got there. And then you're just gonna get like anything that's thin, like the end of a spoon, and just basically swirl everything in. It's gonna look really cool. And that's baked oats number 2 done, our blueberry cheesecake. Can we just take an appreciation moment for that? That is unbelievable, wow. And now moving on to number 3, our carrot cake. So with the carrot cake one, we're obviously gonna need a good old carrot. Grab yourself a grater and just grate that carrot. You can leave the skin on. The skin actually has a lot of like roughage. It actually has a lot of the nutrients in the skin. So as long as it's washed, as long as it hasn't got anything on, just leave the skin on, saves you a job. We're gonna need about half of a big carrot or a full small carrot. And you're just gonna pop that straight in with the base mixture. Then we're gonna pop in a bit of vanilla extract, and then my absolute favorite thing on this earth, cinnamon. As you know from my previous videos, I just measure with my eyes. If you wanna get a tablespoon out, you can measure it with that, but I just pop it in until my heart feels content. What you can do with this as well, what tastes really, really nice, if you put a few nuts in there, a few walnuts, a few pecan nuts if you want, but my camera girl has a nut allergy, so we will not be doing that today. And it also tastes really nice with that as well. So whatever you fancy, you can add a few more healthy fats in there. If you want to make it like a true carrot cake, you can. And same as the other ones, we're just gonna stir that all in. Oh, that tastes bloody banging. I was trying to think of something beginning with a B and I was like, bloody gorgeous. And there is baked oats number 3 done. So we've got the 3 flavors ready. carrot cake, blueberry cheesecake, and the brownie. Like, oh, what a lineup, what a lineup. Right, these need to go straight in the oven now. In there for about 45 minutes on 200 degrees. And once they're out, we'll come back and we'll give them all a taste test. So let's put them in. So the goods are out the oven and this is what we're playing with. Are we seeing the absolute concoctions that we've got going on here? We've got the blueberry cheesecake, which smells and looks bloody insane. We've got the brownie. And we've got our carrot cake with our Biscoff yogurt sauce drizzled all over the top of it. These are honestly looking pretty goddamn good. What we're gonna do now, the last thing that we need to do is dig in, taste test them all and give our verdict on them. But just as a bit of a rundown, you can either split this into 2 or 4. If you split it into 2, it'll be around about 400 calories each. I'm gonna list all of the specific calories, macros, ingredients, everything in the caption down below. You should use this for like a whole meal, so if you wanna have it for like your breakfast or like a snack on the afternoon. But if you do just want more of like a lower calorie snack, you can split it into 4 and they'll be about 200 calories each, which are still a really big portion, but it's just way lower in calories. So yeah, let's dig in, let's see what it's all about. Okay, so this is the final product. We've cut them up, they've all cooled down, and I think I'm ready to just have a little taste test of all of them. We're just gonna have a little taste of the carrot cake one first. This has a unbelievable yogurt Biscoff topping on. Are we seeing how gooey and moist that is? Wow. That literally just tastes identical to carrot cake. Like, it's so gooey and moist in the middle. So good. Moving on to the blueberry one. Look at those layers. Oh my God. Wow. There's just so many explosions of flavors in there. Unbelievable. Wow, wow. We've got our brownie, the chocolate brownie. I think that's always gonna be my favorite. That just hits the spot. So good. If you do make these all together, let me know which one you find the tastiest down below. Let me know which one you do on repeat every single week. And if you do have any cakes or flavors that you want to request me to do, let me know below and let me see what I can whip up. But apart from that, I hope you all loved this video. I absolutely love putting these concoctions together. I hope it does save your afternoon slumps. It's definitely saved me. I feel like I've just got so much more energy now in the afternoon. And especially when you're losing fat, it just helps manage your hunger so much more. So yeah, make sure you subscribe. Have looked at the stats, and I think about half of you who are watching these videos still aren't subscribed. So make sure you do, so you get notifications when I post. Apart from that, go enjoy your week and I'll see you next Sunday.